Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can create your first Java Swing GUI application on IntelliJ IDEA IDE. So hopefully you already have installed IntelliJ IDEA IDE. If you haven't, I will link the video in the description where I have shown you how you can install IntelliJ IDEA on your Windows operating system. So once you have opened your IntelliJ IDEA IDE, go to the file option here and then click on new and then click on project, and here there are few options. What we are going to do is we are going to create a Java application, and here I'm going to choose Groovy here, and the project SDK is 17, so JDK 17 is installed on my system. Whatever is the latest version of JDK installed on your system, it's going to show that here. So just leave it as default and select Groovy here and then click on next and give the name of your project. I'm going to just name my project as GUI app, for example, and then I'm going to click on finish, which is going to download some files and it's going to create your Java project. And now it says open project. Where would you like to open the project GUI app? I'm going to click on this window, and you can see this project has been created. So once your project is created, it's going to look like this. Here it contains a few folders. One is library, other is .idea. We don't need to change anything here. Also, you will see one more folder here which is called src. Here we are going to create our GUI related files, right? So I'm going to right click on this source folder, click on new, and here you will be able to see this option which is called Swing UI Designer. Just click on GUI form here, and on this window you need to provide two things. One is the form name and other is the class name. So form name, I'm going to name my form as main, and class name will be the same. The base layout manager is grid layout manager. You also have card layout, flow layout, and other layouts. I'm going to select the grid layout manager, which is default in IntelliJ IDEA, and I'm going to click on OK, which is going to create this class, and you can see it's going to create the main.java class and main.form class. Both you will be able to see here under main. Now you can see here there is a GUI designer when you select main.form, and there is this Java file which is right now empty. So first of all, what you need to do, without adding any component from this palette, let's try to run this application, right? So we need to first of all set the title of our JFrame. We need to set the default close operation. We also can set the size. All these things we can do in the main.java file. So without any component, you just need to go to your main.java file. And first of all, you need to extend your GUI application using JFrame. So just write after main extends, and then just write JFrame. So at every point you will see the hints from IntelliJ IDEA. As soon as you add this JFrame, this you can see Java x.swing.* is added in your main class. Right now I'm going to just create a constructor function. So I'm going to just write public and then the name of my class, which is main, and then constructor looks like this. So it has the name similar to your Java class, and then inside this constructor I need to do few things, right, as I mentioned. So what you can do here is I'm going to just copy and paste some code, and I will just demonstrate or illustrate what this code is doing. You just write set title, and whatever title you give here will be the title of your window. Then you have this set default close operation, which means when you close your window, what is going to happen? It's going to exit your project on window close. Then you have the default size. The initial size will be 300 by 200. Also, you have this method called set location related to null. And if you want to learn more about all these methods, you can hover over these functions and you can see more description here, right? And then at last you need to write set visible is equal to true, right? So add these 5 lines in your constructor, and also you can create your public static void main. You can just write psvm and then press enter, and it's going to create your public static void main method. This is the main entry point of your application, as you might have already guessed. Here we are going to initialize our class, so I'm going to just write new main and then give this semicolon. Just save your application by Control S, and then we can run our application. So first we need to build our application. So just click on this hammer icon, and I can see that there is no error when I build this project. So I can run this, right? So I can right click on this file, and then I'm going to click on run main.main, and you can see this window opens with the size 300 and height will be 200, right? And you can see the title is simple GUI app, which is this one, right? When I click on this cross icon, it's going to exit, and this is what this line of code means, right? So now our basic empty frame is running. So now we can start adding some components into our JFrame, right? So the basic component or the parent component here is JPanel, and inside the JPanel you add your other components, right? So I can add, for example, JLabel here. I can just drag and drop this label into my JPanel, and you can see the label is added. You can add the field name of the JLabel. So I'm going to just write JL, and then the field name can be anything, for example first name, right? I can also change the text of this label. By default it's label. I can change it to, for example, first name here, and then press enter, and you can see this label is now first name, right? You can also add some text fields. So you have this text area, you have this text pane. So you can add one of these items. I'm going to add this text field. So I'm going to drag and drop, and this will be your text field. So you can see the name of the text field is text field 1. For now, I'm going to leave it as default, but later you can give a proper field name to each and every component which you add in your JPanel, right? Here you have so many options. You can even add the text here. You can also add many properties using these properties and value options. And also from here I can even preview what I'm designing, right? So I can click on preview here, and it shows me this first name, and then I can see this text box which is yellow right now, right? I can also add a J button. So I can just search for J button and drag and drop into my JPanel, and I can even change the title here, and I can change the label also for this, right? So you can see the field name is button1, which is fine for me for now. I can change the text here. I can just write click me, for example, and then press enter, and then this text is changed, right? Now in order to create a listener for this button click, I can just right click on this button and then click on create listener. I can also press Ctrl O to create this listener for this button. Just select this, and then you can see there are few listeners, right? What I want to select is the action listener, but you also have other listeners here. As I mentioned, I want to select the action listener here, and then you can see the action listener will be added. I will click on OK, which is going to add the action listener for this button, right? And let's say when I press or click on the button, I want to show a message dialog which says the hello world message, for example, right? So I can just write J option pane. So just import J option pane dot show message dialog. Just write show message dialog, and then the first argument here will be this, and the second argument here will be any text which you want to display, for example, hello world. And also I can see this error here. So this should be main.this and not simply this, right? So just write main.this and this error will go, right? So once we have this code, so this code is essentially going to just open a message dialog and show hello world. So I'm going to just once again run my application. First of all, let me build it, and when I run this code, you will see that nothing will appear. Hopefully, yes, you can see our changes are not visible here, and that is because we added our components, but we haven't added our JPanel to our class, right? So in order to add the JPanel to our class, we have to give the field name, right? So I can just write main panel here, and then press enter. And once I press enter here, this main panel is added as the field name for this JPanel. And now you can see this main panel is added in my class. Now let's add this to our main class, right? So just write set content pane and then just give the main panel as an argument here. Okay, once you do that, just build your project once again and then run your application, and hopefully now you can see that our label is visible, text box is visible, and when I click on this button, you will be able to see hello world here, right? What I want to do is I want to enter some text here, and I want to display whatever text I add here when I click on the button, right? So I want to enter a name, and I want to show this name in the message dialog. So inside this action perform method of this button click, I can just declare a string variable, which I will name it as first name, for example, is equal to, I will take the input from the text field, right? So the text field variable name is text field 1. So I will just take the text field and then I will get the text from there. So I will just write get text method, and then whatever is the text we write in the text field, it will be assigned to this variable, and I can just simply, instead of writing hello world here, I can just write welcome, and then I can just write plus and then this first name variable name. Okay, save this and then run your application. And then when I enter some name here, for example Java, and when I just click on click me button, it shows welcome Java, but there is no space here, so we can easily fix this problem. I can just write colon space here and once again run my application, and then once again I just write Java and then click me, and you can see welcome Java. Okay, so this is how you can create your first Java Swing application in IntelliJ IDEA IDE. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.